Introducing the story of the Odyssey, talking horses, and the brand new me. Quote, "Today my old skin has become as dust. I will walk tall amongst men, and they will know me not. For today I am a new man with a new life." End quote. By Og Mandino. Let me tell you the story of Jim. Jim was a poor farmer from a small backwater town no one had ever heard of. He grew up wearing his elder brother's clothes and shoes, and when he wasn't playing with his elder brother's toys, his playground was the world around him. His best friends were the dogs, sheep, cats, and horses on his papa's farm. Every morning, he would jump out of bed, wave "good morning" to the sun, and head off to feed his friends. As he was feeding them, the unexpected would happen. The first time it happened, Jim did not take heed. He figured he might have been tired, imagining things, possibly even hearing things. The second time it happened, he was not quite sure what to make of it. When something's right in front of your nose, it's so easy to dismiss it and miss it. It was the summer of his 15th year, the first time the unexpected had occurred. It was a cooler than usual summer morning. The air felt fresher, cleaner, and somehow even smelt a little sweeter, though there was an unusual hint of salt permeating the air. It was strange, this little waft which Jim imagined smelled like the ocean which he had never seen. Sticking his tongue out, he wondered if he might catch salt crystals. The unexpected is precisely the unexpected. Jim had been feeding the pigs when he heard a voice from behind beckon to him. "Oh, it's a good day for your story." Jim spun around to see who was there, and all he saw was Pablo and Montesa staring back at him waiting for their breakfast. "Oh, Jim, you got us some feed?" Startled, but composed, Jim shrugged his shoulders and went up to the horses. Stroking Montesa's warm, white-brown patched neck, he thought of nothing, which naturally led him to start dreaming of leaving the farm, sailing across the world, and having adventures, just like they do in all the books he read. "Do you know the story of Odyssey, Jim?" Jim, without thinking, said, "Yeah, sure, who doesn't? You know, it was much like you when he was younger. He always wanted to travel, but just didn't in his youth. His pa had heard from an old mystic the day Odysseus was born that if he sailed on adventures, he might never come home. So his pa kept him busy with so much work, he had no time to dream about traveling. He thought he was keeping his son safe, but the father's wishes might not always be his son's desires." The story of Odysseus was one of Jim's favorite. Odysseus sails for Troy, leaving behind his throne and his pregnant wife to fight another man's battle for power. What was supposed to be a quick fight ended up in a 20-year adventure across strange seas, meeting goddesses, having some of his crew and his friends turned into wild animals and eaten. There was also a cyclops called Nobody. Odysseus, he always had a choice. He could have stayed on Ithaca, made his father proud, been a good king, a great father and husband, and lived a serene life on his little island. But was it his heart's desire to do so? Caught off guard of a question like this, Jim allowed it to simmer and resonate of his own soul. He wondered what life would be like if he himself decided to one day go on his own adventure. Of course, it was not possible, he thought. Pa and his brothers need him. Who would feed the animals, chop the wood, help to grow the crops? Who would make his father smile, bellow laughter, and start dancing across the kitchen? His father had raised him and had given up everything for his brothers and him. There was just no way he could abandon everything and selfishly head off. And where would he go? With no money, no education, no experience. Jim had nothing. What would he do in this world? You know, Jim heard the voice again. Money can be made, and experience only comes through experience. Education ain't always found between four walls and an old gripe telling you what to do or what to think. Think of how much you learn from books, from working in the farm, from helping your pa when he went to the market. Hell, I think your pa learned most of his business ways from his neighbors in the market. But pa's everything. I can't leave behind the man who gave me everything. Neither can you keep him, son. Ain't your business to make him happy. Sometimes the hardest thing and the best thing you can do for another person, especially someone you love, is to let them manage their own lives. It's called self-empowery, son. Being your own hero. Jim looked up at the sky, and it was an ultramarine blue, much like the ocean, cascading far and wide. Clouds rolled over ships, sailing just like an infinite ocean. Jim shook himself and looked at the horses, who gazed lovingly back at him. Did the horse just give him advice? He must be crazy. Shaking his head and trying to shrug off what he had just experienced, he wondered, if, and this is a big if he were to decide to travel, maybe someday, maybe a year from now, or even 10, what one thing might he do? Where does one even start? He took that thought with him as he walked back to his home. Unbeknownst to him, this was the moment that the gods of fate and fortune smiled at him as the seed that started his journey was planted. Can horses talk? Jim wondered aloud as he walked back to the farm. Of course not, replied Pablo, as he leaned his auburn muscular neck down to the sweet green grass and let out a big and that's the story of the Odyssey, talking horses, and a brand new me. For more stories, meditations, and little bits of inspiration, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment behind. If you like this audio version, please let me know so that I can do more of them, because they make me really happy. Sending you lots of love and wishing you a happy 2021. God bless you all.